We're ready to go in Columbia, South Carolina. Grace Slaughter and Mizzou in Columbia. And it is senior night at Colonial Life Arena. The third-ranked Gamecocks honor 4 seniors and try to take the SEC regular season title outright as they take on Missouri. Opening tap into the hands of Mizzou, and we are underway here at Colonial Life Arena. Sanaya Tyler runs the point. Chloe Sotel. Sotel, good shooter. Slaughter. Try to take Madina Okot off the dribble. Good move on the crossover. Little too strong in the rebound for Okot. Starting 5 for South Carolina. No Tessa Johnson tonight. More on that in a minute. Tonight, Latson, Johnson. Agat McKeer gets the start for Johnson. Joyce Edwards, the leading scorer, and third in the SEC in that category. Madina Okot, 18 double-doubles this season.
And Mizzou coming out in a player-to-player, and watch Abby Schreck, number 23, is matched up with Madina Okot.
Good job on the glass as McKeer gets after it. Dawn Stanley, another senior night. Try as I might earlier today to say, Dawn, are you going to cry when the seniors came out? The Philadelphia in her always comes out. She's like, just because you asked if I'm going to cry, I'm going to make sure I don't. 8 wins in a row for Staley's team, 13-1 in the SEC. And Dawn and Raven sharing some laughs during the pregame ceremony. First 2 points of the game belong to South Carolina. That's going to be a backcourt violation. And guess who is right there defensively? Raven Johnson.
She's up. She's in the point guard to distract them and prevent them from getting in an offense. One thing for Mizzou is that they will take shots in transition because it's high percentage.
Schreck is going to go to the free throw line for Missouri as McKeer gets called for the personal foul. Kelly Harper in her first season at Mizzou, her 21st season, if you can believe that, overall as a head coach. Schreck averaging 7.5 points a game, has the first point for Mizzou tonight. Here's Latson, defended by Sotel.
And now you see that it's been switched. Slaughter is matching up with Madina Okot.
Starting 5 for Mizzou. They'll dress 9 because of the injuries. Jordana Reisma is out again, and Slaughter drops it in from deep. 40% from beyond the arc. I don't know if there's anything that Grace Slaughter doesn't do well for this Missouri team, and they asked her to do a lot. Good fight inside. Down, defended by Latson.
And Eric, it's subtle, but one of the reasons South Carolina's defense has been so good is they don't let players get to the screens. Seeing the defensive players get over the top of so many screens already for Mizzou.
Latson, beautiful feed to Okot. South Carolina averaging 18 assists a game. That's their first tonight. Slaughter will try another 3. They'll pull a lot of threes. They took 44 against LSU last time out. On average, they make 8.5 a game.
And I asked Kelly Harper about that today, and she said, if they're open, we need to take them. And the percentages show that this is a Mizzou team that's very capable of getting hot from deep.
Latson to the basket.
Well, already you're seeing it. Mizzou struggle with containing the dribble penetration of South Carolina.
Transition 3. Schreck is off the mark. Rebound for Raven Johnson. Latson for Okot. Okot not done.
Madina Okot does so well of keeping that pivot foot down.
Slaughter, great job defensively as McKeer came over.
And that's the second time McKeer has come over to alter a shot off of Slaughter's dribble penetration.
Latson drops it back. Okot has shown good touch from the outside, and this time a deep 2. And Okot, 8 points during this 10-3 run for South Carolina. So Tell gets an open look for three, was halfway down and popped out. Latson's got the rebound.
And I thought Dow had a look at the rim there, just didn't see it and kicked out.
Edwards kicks it out to McDaniel. Edwards tries to spin on Slaughter. Good take. Got the combination on the court right now with McDaniel and Raven Johnson and Tania Latson. McDaniel saw the pass coming, knocked it away. McDaniel's playing with a ton of confidence and will have a chance at a three-point play. This is a number like I kind of double check and triple check, thinking like, oh, maybe I need to change my prescription because the type is too small. 70 assists, 13 turnovers for McDaniel. South Carolina gets on the glass.
South Carolina now up to 5 offensive rebounds. This time is Joyce Edwards. Times the miss perfectly, goes up above the players trying to box her out. And so if I'm Mizzou, a couple of things. Pass fakes. And then look to make the pass. Meet passes as well. And probably don't set illegal screens.
Shrek gets called for the illegal screen. Latson. Edwards thought about it. Says, I'll try it a little bit closer. A little too strong. She kept it alive for Latson, who will go to the free throw line. Edwards, little awkward collision. Welcome to Columbia. We welcome those of you who watch Florida knock off Ole Miss. Gators shoot 59%.
Abby Shrek picking up her second foul. Who can be that secondary scorer for Mizzou now?
Slaughter will head to the free throw line, averaging 19 points a game. That's good for 5th in the SEC. South Carolina down a key player here today. Tessa Johnson, starting guard, is out. Upper body contusion. South Carolina, the junior, 4th on the team in scoring. How does the Johnson absence impact what South Carolina wants to do?
Well, I'm wondering if it might have changed what Kelly Harper was thinking about in terms of the zone, because that's one less shooter on the floor. And you're seeing Mizzou's ability to track down some of these long rebounds. That's their advantage because they've got the floor so spread.
Well, the Dowell move down the lane drew some ooze from the capacity crowd here. Madina Okot and Raven Johnson already clinched at least a share of the regular season title in the SEC and the number 1 seed coming up in the SEC tournament. A win here tonight, they will be the outright SEC champions.
And as I have said, South Carolina does not want to share.
The only thing they want to share is assists to their teammates. They don't want to share titles, that's for sure. Good feed inside, and Slaughter's got another bucket. Already 10 points for Grace here in the first quarter. Corner 3 on the way from Isla McDowell is off the mark. Jayla Smith into the front court. Back to Tyler.
And so you see how Mizzou spreads the floor. 5 out. That's how Grace Slaughter continues to be able to get downhill.
Of the 13 points on 4 of 7 shooting. McDaniel needs help. Edwards, crafty.
And opponents have been going right at her because of that.
Well, you know, too, Grace isn't likely to leave the court. Second in the SEC in minutes per game at 36. Latson, the feed to Edwards. That's the kind of sharing they're willing to do. Shot clock is off. Mizzou will hold for 1. Tipped away. McDaniel's got a steal and a hard foul. And
with a steal by Maddie McDaniel, and it's an easy call because it had Tyler gone for the ball, it's probably just a common foul.
And then it'll be a trip to the free throw line for McDaniel. All right, so it's flagrant 1 foul. McDaniel will inbound after the 2 free throws. 12 seconds to go in the half. Latson with the handle, flips it up, doesn't get it to drop. Dowda kept it alive. picked up by Missouri, and that will do it for the first half. Just a great leader for this team, great performer, and she's going to get what will probably be a very short break on the bench. Foul's going to be called on Jayla Smith. Smith, who played the last 4 seasons at Purdue, but just a couple of games last year. About this Missouri team that someone hasn't been battling injuries all season long. It just seems to be the case.
Well, first-year staff, and even at the beginning of the season, they lost Avery Conkey as well as Hannah Lithicum, 2 of the more experienced veterans returning to this ball club, and nonetheless a true point guard and a true 5 player. And so they had to readjust everything they were going to do.
SEC puts out an availability report. It is always full for Missouri. 4 players out, according to that report here today.
And no coach wants to win that battle every night of having the longest injury report.
Well, Slaughter wasn't on the bench very long. She'll go to the free throw line. She had a good start against LSU last time out. 10 points in the first quarter against the Tigers of her 14. But LSU was just humming. The LSU Tigers were in rebounding margin.
And it's something to note, Grace Slaughter, for the better part of her career, was a guard.
And on the court right now for South Carolina are 2 forwards who are 6'6" and 6'7". That's going to be a whistle against South Carolina.
This coaching staff is coaching every possession, every player nonstop. We saw that with the flagrant one on Tyler, pulling the young lady over and teaching in the moment.
First points for Shannon Dow, second on the team in scoring at 15 a game. Raven jumps in with the first points of the second quarter for South Carolina. Cody McMahon, one of the very best players in the country. McMahon was 0 for 9 from the field, held to just a couple of free throws. So Tell went down. Three-pointer is good.
As soon as the ball's in the air to the first person, they'll either give up the 3 like we just saw, or they're going to have straight lines to get the offensive rebounds.
Okot on the cut to the basket.
Well, you see Okot going and looking to set this screen. And because she sets that, you see how no one picks her up, and then she just slips behind the defender who's looking at the ball wide open for that bucket.
Back live, Missouri turns it over on the sideline. You didn't think the fans here at Colonial Life Arena would forget the flagrant foul so quickly. Kelly Harper, she just was very honest. In order to have any chance to stay close in this game, they cannot turn the basketball over. You know you're going to lose the battle on the boards, and that's been the case here, but you have to be in the fight for as much as you can. And we're seeing that Missouri fight here in the second quarter, but just too much size.
It's subtle, but Raven Johnson blows up the handoff and then won't let her get to the dribble, to the on-ball screen. But it's also in terms of Missouri, they're making good reads. They're not, I know they have some turnovers, but they're not forcing passes. They're not getting too sped up, especially here in the second quarter.
Here's Dowell. Dowell, little fake, and she gets hammered. You know, this is a triple header night. We got a little SEC late night coming up when we're done here at the Moody Center in Austin. 4th ranked Texas, 23rd ranked Georgia. McDowell misses everything. South Carolina 3 of 14 from the field here in the second quarter. And Mizzou gets another one, Jayla Smith. Mizzou has outscored South Carolina 12-7 here in the quarter. Tough angle for Latson. She knocks it down. Dowell finds Smith on the cut. Turnabes with the easy rebound.
Mizzou going to their matchup zone now. And they can switch from man to the zone and from the zone to the man per possession.
Edwards finds a little bit of a crease and scores. Slaughter, way too strong on the pull-up. Good feed, Latson. Good help defensively coming in for the block from Vincent. But Edwards sticks with it. Thompson gets by Raven Johnson. Nice job by Lisa Thompson.
Good finish. I thought she would kick it out to Slaughter, who had a wide open look from three.
Corner three, Latson too strong, and Edwards was held on to by Slaughter. Had a 3-game winning streak at one point in SEC play. 16 wins on the season. The math works out for them, and they are certainly hopeful that they will be a part of the WBIT. Hopes to keep playing basketball into March after the SEC tournament.
Well, and I think when you're building a program, that postseason experience is so important. And I can't say enough about what Kelly Harper and her staff have done this year. Throughout all the injuries, this team has continued to get better. And like I said, there hasn't been a game where they have stopped playing hard. They've just been undersized.
Came in averaging 2.5 a game. South Carolina, 30 of their 50 points have come in the paint. Look at McDaniel. Up quickly to Latson. Finds Edwards spinning inside.
Nice switch by Dowda.
Three-pointer from the freshman. Rika Toman had 3 points in 9 minutes against LSU last time out.
Well, credit Grace Slaughter with the dribble penetration that pulled Toman's defender to open it up.
Latson with the answer. Dowell. And a turnover for Missouri. That's their 9th of the first half. Final minute of the second quarter. Latson follows her miss, and she earns a trip to the free throw line.
Well, you're just seeing the dribble penetration of South Carolina. It's led to scores, it's led to fouls, but a lot of times it's also leading to second chance opportunities because of the rotation.
Edwards leading the way for Dawn Staley with 17 points in the first half. Latson into double figures now with 10. Okot also in double figures with 12 to go along with 7 rebounds. Dowell turned it over. McDaniel, plenty of time to go in the half. McDaniel does it herself and will go to the line.
Passer's eyes so well.
At that spot, if McDaniel comes on for Raven Johnson. Tipped out. Let's see if Mizzou can get a heave from half court. And it's over the backboard, and that'll do it for the first half. He's 21-0 South Carolina in that category. Grace Slaughter, Madina Okot, little pat on the back before things get started here in the third quarter. Slaughter leading the way for Mizzou, 13 of their 32 points. Okot with 12 points and 7 boards. Joyce Edwards leading South Carolina in scoring with 17. Tanaya Latson has 12.
And that shows you how dominant the bigs for South Carolina have been, is that we didn't say much about Latson in that first half, but she's also just taken what the defense has given her. Because
turnover number 11.
Raven Johnson picked up the point guard, and they had no one to pass to.
Okot says, that's mine, takes it away, gives it to Raven Johnson. 4-3. Second chance points, 24-0 South Carolina. That's a 3 for Jayla Smith. Latson to Edwards, good catch in the finish. 4 assists now for Latson to go along with their 12 points. 19 points for Edwards. Dowell, good little pass fake.
To continue to win year after year, and without hesitation, she said the culture. Players come here because they want to get better and they want to be coached. And it is true. They may not be able to play immediately, but they know what Dawn Staley can do for them. They know that they will get better throughout their tenure.
Rebound by Okot gives her 10. It's a 6th straight double-double in the 19th of this season. Shrek on the other end for 3. Johnson steps in. Comes up well short. No piece by Jayla Smith. In her first year, the season tickets that she bought courtside were $50 for the season as Latson gets a hand in there and then comes back the other way looking for the 2. Getting it and a chance for 3. So Latson with 14 points. Sotel picks up her 3rd personal. She goes to the bench. And Sanaya Tyler comes back on. If you're wondering why the boos have come out, Sanaya got whistled for a flagrant 1 in the first half. Shrek with the quick release in the corner knocks down her second 3.
It's not just the quick release, it was the quick footwork off of Grace Slaughter's dribble penetration. Shrek was ready to knock that down.
Latson over the top to Okot. You talked about it earlier. Grace Slaughter is playing the 5. It is not her natural position, but by default, the tallest player on the floor right now for Missouri is playing against 6'6" Okot, and if she comes in, 6'7" Turnabese. There's Slaughter draining a 3. She's got 16.
Well, and this is the thing that I like about Slaughter's mentality this year. She knows she's undersized, and what she's done is taken any disadvantage and turned it into her advantage on the offensive end.
Edwards gets inside Shrek for 2. Rika Toman early entry into the game here in the second half for Mizzou. Shannon Dow was hoping that would come down through the net, but
back to the matchup zone.
Now 3 for 16 after Johnson reaches double figures with that 3. This is what Dawn thinks of Raven pregame. The ceremony, big part of Raven's family on hand as the number 25 jersey framed, presented to her. 5 years here at South Carolina as out of the timeout.
Well, Dalton Staley's had some great point guards here at South Carolina. Of course, they're playing for one of the best point guards of all time. But I can't tell you as a former coach just how much easier it is for a coach when you have a point guard like Raven Johnson, who's consistent, who plays both ends of the floor.
What she had to go through coming off a knee injury, she's had so many great successes on the court, comes in with a record of 134 wins and 7 losses. And talked to her before the game, there's been some losses in her career that have stuck with her, that had her depressed. She was very upfront about just some of the struggles she went through. We see her as part of a winning team and big smile on her face, but it has not been easy at times. So she's had to fight through a lot in these 5 years.
It's unfortunate for student athletes in this day and age. Some of the social media, I'm better because of it. I learned from it. I moved forward. It's made me stronger. And I can't say enough about this young lady's character. She's always put the team first. But I got to tell you, she's one of the best point guards in our game right now.
Absolutely. Another three-pointer for Mizzou. They are on fire from beyond the arc here in this third quarter. 6 of 9 on threes after the Dowell triple. Edwards, Slaughter, defended by Dowda. On the cut. Good find by Slaughter. Wide open Toman.
That was a great read by Toman to cut back door.
Mizzou has outscored South Carolina 24-21 here in this third quarter. Third-ranked Alabama taking on second-ranked LSU in Baton Rouge. Slaughter will head to the free throw line.
That was a pretty one-sided discussion. Mizzou just keeps hanging around. Get to the free throw line and definitely getting hot from 3 here in this third quarter.
Johnson. Kick to the corner. Three-pointer is good. Maddie McDaniel. Toman.
Great recovery by Dowda to stop that shot.
Dowell steps into a 3.
They were trying to get the back screen there to get Dowda a lob over the top. Well defended by Mizzou.
McDaniel hits again. Maddie McDaniel has 9 points. Came in averaging 4.5 a game.
She just keeps getting better and better.
Deep two, Mizzou. McDaniel for McKeer. Tornabees on the turnaround. Will go to the line to shoot a couple. Mizzou just trying to stay in the fight here against South Carolina. This quarter qualifies. No one has scored more points in a quarter against South Carolina this season than what Mizzou has done here in the third. Vandy went for 28 in the second quarter of that matchup earlier this year. Looks like it'll be 28 and holding here for Mizzou as McDaniel tries to add to the South Carolina lead. Whilst the handle in Mizzou will have a chance to add to their total. Remember, one more game to come after we're done here in Columbia. 4th-ranked Texas, 23rd-ranked Georgia. Texas has won 3 in a row. So they're that final #1 seed according to Charlie Cream right now. Slaughter cannot pick up where Mizzou left off in that third quarter. They made 7 threes in the quarter, Christie, to outscore South Carolina 31-28 in the third.
Nice switch there by McDowell. Otherwise, Slaughter would have been open on the block.
McDowell still has Slaughter on the matchup. 7 on the shot clock. Tyler, that'll quiet the crowd.
And that was a smart move by Tyler. Recognized that the Turnabees is coming out at her, goes by her, and then extends the ball away from the defense.
First points for Sanaya Tyler. McDowell will try again. This time it stays down. Slaughter's got it back. Tornabees on the closeout, not in time, and Slaughter scores again.
For Mizzou, they've had to battle undersized. They've worked extremely hard on the defensive end.
Well, that hard work has paid off. I know it's a 20-point deficit, but Mizzou has done some good things here on the road, especially in that third quarter when they put 31 on the board. Most of the team has scored against Carolina in any quarter this season. She'll go to the line. Her career high and season high is 17. Mizzou will close out the regular season at home against Oklahoma on Sunday. Reisma, Smith, and Tyler will be honored at Senior Day, all in their first year with Missouri.
Well, I was just looking on the floor for Missouri. Only Slaughter and Shrek had any SEC experience coming into this season.
Okot with 7 on the shot clock. Blocking foul is called. Count the basket and a chance for a three-point play.
Shrek's been battling a couple of injuries, playing through it. Just hope she's okay.
As we mentioned before, has not missed a start this season, nor has Slaughter, but those are the only two. Slaughter, a little too deep, and Latson has the rebound. Allison Mosel, the athletic trainer, helping Shrek down the runway towards the Missouri locker room. So we'll keep an eye out for Abby Shrek.
And you see Mizzou just crowding the low block anytime there's an entry pass.
Latson unselfish. Tornabees couldn't get it, but Okot's got the follow. 18 points for Madina Okot. Slaughter sets for another 3.
A couple of shots that have been short now for Slaughter. You wonder if there's a little fatigue there.
Okot takes it at Slaughter for 2 more. Remember, they were high school teammates at Westlake High School in Atlanta as Dow looks to take it to the basket. Dowder with the block. Tonight spent the last 3 years at Florida State, and now for 1 season, the 2 former high school teammates are college teammates. Okot inside. tonight hadn't experienced that, so she's thrilled about tonight. If they win this game, they get the outright championship, the trophy, the hat, the T-shirt.
And there's nothing like winning a championship, plain and simple. And I know Raven's got her eyes set on an SEC championship out of Greenville as well as a national championship. And Eric, one other thing, we talk about Raven Johnson as an extension, the point guard being an extension of the head coach.
Left ankle injury against Providence College into non-conference play, missed 3 games. She's missed 2 more since, so 5 total games that she's missed. McDowell trying to cut through traffic as we approach 4 minutes to go.
Latson led the country in scoring a year ago.
26 for Okot. Her career high is 27 as Tyler pulls from deep. Okot has made 13 field goals, 12 are layups as South Carolina has hit 100 again. Latson in trouble, but knows how to get out of trouble. How about the confidence shown by Rika Toman, the freshman? She's got 9.
I just can't say enough about Mizzou's ability. They just have not quit. Injuries, Shrek leaves the game. It has not mattered. They continue to battle.
Raven Johnson knocks down a 3. First senior out is Tanaya Latson. Dowell launches. Can't get it. And knocked out of bounds by Toman. Madina Okot. We've gotten the sense here that she has quickly become a fan favorite here in Columbia.
I think earlier in this game, I think she's become no, definitely she has become a fan favorite.
Raven Johnson trying to close out senior day the best way she knows how. So Mariam Dowda in her second year with South Carolina. Dawn Staley loves the theater, right? She's got to be looking for a way to get Raven out of this game. Here's 3 on the way. Count it. McDowell.
And Eric, it was subtle a moment ago, but Tanaya Tyler went up to Maddie McDowell, shook her hand and said, "I'm sorry about the foul." Fans have been booing the young lady all night. Great class there by Tanaya Tyler.
Great catch, Christy. Rebound. I think a timeout's going to be called by Dawn Staley. And now Raven Johnson gets her moment.
You wondered if Dawn Staley would get emotional and tear up. I think Lisa Boyer, associate head coach, got a little emotional as Raven checked out.
I think Dawn's trying to keep it together right now. She's smiling it off. That tough Philly facade may be cracking just a little bit. She's going to hate to hear that. The only way Maddie McDaniel picks up turnovers is when the shot clock expires. That happened last game as well.
Yes.
Dawn. Time is going to run out. Senior night is going to be a win for South Carolina. They stand alone, regular season champions outright in the SEC.